Synthaholics.
Welcome to Synthaholics. Thank you so much for downloading this episode. Today you have myself, Aaron O'Brien, and David Duncan. Hello, Dave.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good, you know. We're living on Dune, you know.
Pour some sugar on me. In the name of Muad'Dib.
Muad'Dib, put some sugar on my body.
Put some sugar on my body instead of murdering me, please.
Today we are in Dune. We're on chapter 44 and 45, and things are
about to get kinky.
Getting, like, speeding up, but also they get really weird here for a minute. So we start off with the all the tribes are getting together, and they all just want Paul to kill Stilgar.
Murder him! Can't burn the witches!
He's not our leader anymore. You are. Well, Stilgar's still my friend, and he taught me a lot of things. Kill him anyway.
Pour some sugar on him.
And then feed him to the worms.
Yes.
So it's kind of weird, and it's a weird. It's like
it's a bizarre fever dream of a sequence.
Well,
apparently they've been planning this all in the background, like the last couple chapters. They've been kind of alluding
keep talking.
To this moment.
Yeah. So, and also Jessica, his mom, is there. So to set the scene, there's I think it's called Bird Cave, or I think that's where they're located, and they are all gathered. All these tribes are gathering in this area, and Paul is up on a rock outcropping with Jessica and Stilgar and other people in their circles.
The way this is laid out, this makes me think of the scene from the movie where he's like, "I will train 10 or 100, and then the 110 will train the hundreds that remain," or whatever. Yeah. The way this scene is described, it makes me think of that scene in the movie. Even though
it is, I think it's based off it for sure.
Even though nothing happens remotely similar.
Yeah, it calls back to that, but yeah. So Jessica has some message, a cylinder message that's in her robes, and she gives that to Paul. So this is what she has right now.
It's one of those old time records that are a cylinder. You got to stick out the little needle on it. It spins.
Yeah, that's what they are. Yeah. The old time
cylinder records.
That's right.
Classics.
The old classics.
What's ancient is new again.
Right, and so they're all by this ledge, and Stilgar's there, and Jessica even thinks that we can't lose Stilgar. He's too good of a leader and a person to for the tribes to be without.
He showed me what to do with my wiener. I can't kill him. That was pretty cool.
Stick it in the worm's mouth. It bit it off. You idiot.
It grows back. Oh, it does? Even bigger than last time? Sweet.
Anyway, so so even while she's there and she's kind of entering into the scene, one of Paul's companions are like, "Are you going to call him out, Muad'Dib? Now's the time for sure. You think they'll think you're a coward if you..." And then Paul goes, "Who dare calls me a coward?" And then he almost pulls his Chris knife out. But so they're just chomping.
Shredded Mapes calls him a coward.
Yeah, coward.
Yeah, Mapes does. Hear me again, why don't you?
So they're just chomping at the bit for him to kill Stilgar.
They're just this is like Bloodsport, the cult. It's gotta see blood.
Yeah, I know. So
they're like Klingons. It's kill the captain, become the captain yourself.
I know, it's like Terrans too.
Yeah, like Terrans, yeah.
So while he starts addressing the crowd, he basically is he's using Bene Gesserit way, and he's actually using the voice at the same time.
Using the voice, yes. It's like Jar Jar Binks in the Attack of the Clones, like telling everyone to elect a chancellor for emergency powers, using the Force on them all.
So anyway, so while he's going, he's basically saying, "Do you smash your knife before battle? I say this as a fact, not a meaning of boast or challenge. There isn't a man here, Stilgar included, who can stand against me in single combat." This is on Stilgar's admission. He knows it, and so did you all. So there's like, I could kill anybody here. And so he goes on. So he's saying this. So
with my legs tied behind my head, I could kill you all.
So Paul basically takes out this message that Jessica gave him and says, "This is a message cylinder," and he says it's been taken by the Harkonnen's courier, so it can be authenticated, and it's basically addressed to Raban, saying that his requests for new troops have been denied, and the spice harvest is far below quota, and he must wring more spice out of Arrakis with the people he has. So this is the plan that we heard way back, a couple chapters back, where Thufir told the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen to basically starve out Raban to make him look awful. And then they'll put...
Thufir's just playing him like a fiddle.
Yeah, that's right. So Paul's like, now, says, he goes, how many of you see what this means? Stilgar saw it immediately, and somebody shouts out, they've been cut off. And so that's exactly what it is. So he brings out his father ducal signet ring, and then he says he's never worn it, but this is his rightful fief, and he put a ring on his fist, and then he's basically, I'm going to be the ruler here. So
I'm now Green Lantern.
Yeah. So anyway, and then he has Stilgar give him his Chris knife, and then he performs basically a knighting ceremony with Stilgar, saying, "Hey, you're going to serve me now," and everyone goes crazy for it. So, and
you
Stilgar gets to live,
bitch.
and they're going to go
yes,
kill
sir.
Harkonnens. They're going to go kill Harkonnens. So, and then the scene kind of shifts over. Paul brings his mother to these smaller chambers and tells her to wait. And he has a surprise for her. And who is it? It's your old pal, Gurney Halleck. "Hey, Gurney, how's it going? What are you doing with that knife, Gurney?" "Why is it pointing to my back, Gurney?"
Why would it point to your back? That's where your wet-ass pussy is, right? In your back?
No. Gurney, you have much to learn. So Gurney is still under the pretense that Jessica was the person who portrayed Duke Leto in the House Atreides. So... yeah, he learned that from some of the Harkonnens, if I'm thinking correctly.
Well, because that was always the Harkonnen, byline.
Yeah, they fed him that line, right? Yeah. So
Thufir knows it, or Thufir's heard the byline. Everyone has heard the byline. No one suspects poor Dr. Yueh, even though Dr. Yueh's been dead for quite a long time.
Quite some time, over 3 years now. He's got to be just...
Well, he died the same day as Duke Leto, so yes.
Got to be just bones. So, anyways, Paul is just basically like, "Gurney, what the hell are you doing to my mom?" He's like, "I'm going to kill her because she's a traitor." And so they have to basically say, "I have evidence, Gurney, but it's not here with me. I have basically the note from Dr. Yueh writing, totally confessing everything.
It's in this crashed ornithopter, that I crashed 3 years ago somewhere."
And so he doesn't and Gurney's actually just like, he says, "If I even hear you use the voice, I'm going to stab your mom. And if you move against me, so anyways, I'll kill your mom." So they finally get through to him, basically saying that, my mom was devastated by my father's death. And, I heard her cry, many nights over what happened. So, and he convinces Gurney that he had the wrong information. So,
and then Gurney's like, "Kill me now. Let's do the Stilgar.
Kill me for being such an idiot.
Kill the idiots.
Kill the idiots." So, because he's so embarrassed and because of what he did. But so they say, we're not going to kill you, Gurney. Go grab your guitar and start playing some music. So
play some Wet Ass Pussy for us, Gurney.
There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes. So while
do the Gilbert Godfrey edition, please, Gurney.
So yeah, I know when Gurney's out in the little area with Jessica, somebody comes in, or someone's outside, and Paul steps out for a moment, and then he just decides he's going to just drink the water of life.
Why not?
I mean, it's the weirdest timing too. Like, it just sort of like, if I'm going
to go to war.
Well, he realizes too that his tolerance to the spice is at this point where
he can't get a good enough high from all the spice. He's just constantly eating and breathing. Yeah,
he can't see the future or different outcomes anymore. It's kind of like it's plateauing off. So the only way is next
spice pizza, head spice pie.
Yeah.
Head spiced latte. Nothing.
So, so he's basically like, oh, I'm going to have to basically just drink this stuff and that'll be it.
He should just start like biting the heads off of baby worms and just like squirting out all the guts.
Yeah.
Because water of life is like, it's concentrated, but it's not as concentrated as just like a baby worm.
I guess, yeah. You could just drink out of the baby worm's blood.
Like, just bite the head off, like Ozzy Osbourne style. Like, bite the head off a bat.
So, and that's where we leave him there, but then we jump to the next chapter, and Chani's coming out of the south, where she was watching her baby, Leto II, and Aaliyah, and she's brought there by Ornithopter, which even... It talked about in the beginning here that Jessica wasn't even allowed that because they didn't want to risk her being shot down. And but this is important, so she takes this trip and she's escorted into the caves, and she has this like long drawn out pleasantry with Jessica, and she just wants to like shake the shit out of Jessica, like, why am I here? What's wrong with Paul? And
what isn't wrong with Paul?
So finally Jessica goes like, well, he kind of did something weird. I think he's been poisoned, but we're not sure. And this is where Chani basically figures out that Paul. Jessica's tested him that he is alive. He just seems like he's almost dead. And
mostly dead is partly alive.
Yeah, that's right. And Chani realizes that he's taken the water of life, and so he wants Jessica to take the water of life and just take a little bit of it. And once she drinks it, somehow Paul just wakes up from his coma-like or death-like status. And then
Paul's like, "Yeah, I've only been here for like 5 seconds. I'm so good. Water of life is just my new thing. I'm so good."
It's like, how did I get this full beard?
The water of life just accelerates all your hair growth.
My balls are hairy. So Paul then,
Stilgar shaved his pubes and then glued them to your face. Like Cartman.
It was like kind of a practical joke, but we didn't realize you were actually in a coma. There's all that whole trying to kill him. But Jessica then realizes that her son is the true Kwisatz, the one who could be in many places at once. And Paul establishes this telepathic connection between him and his mom. And Paul then tries to take his mother into the bad place that the Reverend Mothers don't want to see in it.
The scary door.
It's basically, almost knocks her unconscious, and she's like, I can't take it anymore, and stumbles away.
The pain!
Yeah.
Put your head in the box.
Put your head inside the box.
What's in the box?
So then, and this is where it gets weird, because he's like, can you see the future? And he goes, no, but I can see the present. And this is what's really weird. He goes, not only do I see the present, I see with the present, but I see everything. And right now I see guild ships up in space, and they have the Emperor, the Shaddam, up there with the Baron Harkonnen, and how many Sardaukar? Oh, 5 legions of Sardaukar warriors up there, and they're just waiting to come down to attack us. And so it's like, well, I guess we're going to go to war now. So with the Emperor and the Sardaukar warriors, and that's basically how it drops off there. I don't know, Dave.
These were bizarre chapters.
Yeah, kind of weird. I mean, it was kind of cool seeing him knight Stilgar, but then just out of nowhere, he's like, "Yep, time to drink the water of life."
Yeah, that was absolutely bizarre. Just like it came out of nowhere. There was no pretense to it that it was going to happen. It just happened. And
the movies definitely talk about like right away that the Kwisatz Haderach has to can go into the places that the Bene Gesserit can't look into, and they don't really talk about that too much in this book. I think they might have mentioned it once in the very beginning. I think
like they don't mention it, like maybe like briefly.
Yeah, and it's about it. So this is all of a sudden like we're going all the way back to the beginning of the chapter, and if this is the first time reading this book without going over it so much, I don't think you'd remember that.
Yeah, it's like you blink and you miss it, basically.
Yeah. So
yeah, this book is just bizarrely written. Like, because I mean, like, I don't know, for the first like 3/4 of the book, like he kept reminding you what was happening, what was going on, and then now he stopped doing that. Like in this last fourth of the book, and he's just like dropping weird shit and like no explanation.
And then he wanted to do something too, where he wanted to create the water of death. Remember? Mm-hmm. And he wanted to basically kill all the worms on all Arrakis, and that would just completely stop the spice production.
And all space travel, and he can destroy a thing, controls the thing, which is also off the used line in the movie.
Right. But I mean, I'm glad I'm glad we're at the point where he takes the water of life, but it's in the battle. He'd been out for 3 weeks at that point, and the battle with the Harkonnens and the Fremen had been going on for 3 weeks at that point. So they're beating the shit out of Rabban and the Harkonnens.
Yeah, now they know there's reinforcements coming. Yeah, it was really. I mean, the knighting was pretty cool. It's also kind of awkward, just like I'm going to mind control the entire population of Fremen.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Like he totally Jar Jar Binks'd it.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but it was abrupt. I kind of thought there'd be a little more ceremony to it, and it was just very much like, nope. And he just goes in another room and goes, well, it's time to drink the water of life because this spice ain't doing it for me anymore.
Yeah, it was such a bizarre. I don't know. It was like there's very little lead up in Dune for a lot of. Well, sometimes there's a shit ton of lead up, and then sometimes there's like no lead up at all. The
beginning of this book is tons of lead up, and then all of a sudden it just starts flying by. So,
I wonder how high Frank Herbert was when he was writing the end of this book. It's just really bizarre. It's just so weird. Like, you always hear about new musicians, they wrote some of their best music or whatever when they're high. I'm like, everyone says the first Dune is the best Dune. I'm like, how high was Frank Herbert when he was writing Dune? Like, especially the end parts. It's just it's cool, but it's just weird and comes out of nowhere with no preamble.
Well, and then in the next couple chapters, we just get almost right into the battle with the Emperor, so and all their men. So this book is going to wrap up very quickly now. So yeah. I don't know. It's cool to see him break the tradition of the Fremen that he didn't see any need to kill Stilgar because he still needed Stilgar, part of the tribes, and it was cool to see that Gurney kind of come to realization that Jessica didn't betray the House Atreides and clear her name. But then after that, it just goes off the rails with him just drinking the water of life, and he'd been out for 3 weeks. So
Gurney, when the storm hits, set off the atomics.
I know, right?
Let's get the atomics going.
I don't know. Interesting stuff, but that's where we're at. So yeah, after that, it's all fighting from there, Dave.
That's all the final battle.
Yeah, that's exactly.
All right.
Anything else you want to say?
No, it was a trippy ride. These 2 chapters, very trippy.
And we'll just have to, see how this all wraps up. But from what I recall, even the last couple lines are pretty weird too of the book. So
interesting.
All right, well, guys, stick with us. We are almost done with this Dune chapter by chapter review. And if you have any different thoughts, if we missed something, or you want us to talk about something else about the book that we might not have touched on, please email us. You can email us at synthaholics@yahoo.com. You can also hit us up on our Facebook group, Facebook.com/groups/Synthaholics. You can talk to us there, or you can hit us up on our Twitter. Our Twitter is Synthaholic Duo, so you can hit us up there. And if the show is something you want to support, please go to our Patreon, Patreon.com/Synthaholics. All right, Dave, next week, the Emperor and the Atomics.
All the atomics.
All right, well, guys, until next week, let your spices flow.
Pour some sugar on Stilgar.
Well, McCoy, my boy, come mix me a drink. Before the night's over, I'll puke in the sink, and we'll cry till we laugh, and we'll both shit our pants. You're the best drinking friend